can't lie to. Alright, 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 alright. I think it's time to get started. I think it's time to get started. Welcome to the Junkyard. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know what it is. Welcome to the Junkyard. It's real good to be back, y'all. I've been missing y'all. I've been missing the Junkyard, okay. I really have. Welcome to the Junkyard. I'm a junkie addicted to combos. You already know it's me, Combo Junkie. Yes, I'm back, and I'm here with something different. Today we're not doing video games. You see it on the screen. We are going to do some productive stuff today, okay? We're going to do some web development. This is actually going to be the first of a few videos. I'm going to do a series of these where I'm not trying to teach necessarily. If it turns into that, that's what's up. But really what I'm trying to do is learn myself, right? So what I want to do is I want to give myself a project in an effort to learn these new technologies that are blazing through the scenes right now. For those of you who don't know, I'm a professional web developer. I've been a developer for about 20 years now. I say that with a lot of confidence. It's been 20 years, but I started when I was like 12. So I'm an old cat, you know. I'm an old cat. So all these new technologies had me thinking, like, you know, I want to learn these things. What's a fun way to learn them? And what better way to learn them than to learn them while creating content, right? Which is another thing I love doing. So if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, yes, I am an addict. Again, I am Combo Junkie. I'm addicted to doing the most juiciest, most damaging combos on all your favorite fighting games. But today, we're going to do some combos on some of these web technologies. All right, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hope you're here to have a good time. If you are, let me know by spamming the chat with some of them heart emojis. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get into it. So what are we going to be doing in this series, right? What are we going to be doing? So a couple of new technologies that have recently hit the scene are Sanity.io, Vercel, NextJS, and of course, this probably everyone knows, React.js, right? These are very modern, very cool frameworks, very cool tools that are basically community built. A lot of them are built by the community, or a lot of them leverage the community built tool set, like the tools that already exist. So what I want to do is I want to build my own like website powered by this Sanity content management system, powered by these Next.js React-based components, and host it through the Vercel DevOps platform, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So I think I want to go into a little bit of explanation just so when this is long form content, when this is VOD content, it kind of makes sense structurally, right? So in order to kind of explain what I'm going to be doing with Sanity.io, I first have to explain what a CMS is. So for those of you who don't know, CMS stands for Content Management System. It's a piece of software that people can use to simplify managing the digital content on a website. So an example being, imagine you go to a news website, right? So let's go over here actually. Let's take a real example. Let's go to USA Today, right? So if we go to USA Today, this website, this entire website is powered by a content management system. Okay, the content that we see on this website is powered by a content management system. So the digital content that they're referring to are things like, for example, this right here, this Donald Trump item, this is an article or a story, right? So in the content management system, they're able to use a like standard form editing experience to enter a title, right? And then they enter a subtitle, right? Then they enter some body copy and they add a video, etc. All of that's managed in the content management system like Sanity.io. And what that allows you to do is it really simplifies saying like, all right, I have this template called a story template. Now, all you have to do is enter the story data and boom, you have a URL that can be accessed that looks beautiful like this, and it'll be completely dynamic. So this is the story template, right? So here's one story, but if we go over to another story, you'll notice that it uses that exact same template, right? Title, some kind of media, some text blocks, some more injected elements, right? We go to this other story, same thing, right? Title, media, injected elements, more text blocks, some social elements. So, and that's what the power of a CMS is. You can have a bunch of different content types like story. Another content type can be person, right? So each of these stories, the attribution for all of these are the bylines, right? These by John Fritz or by David Jackson. Each of these are people in the content CMS, in a CMS, right? The content management system. So there's a person content type, and that person is connected to stories, right? Another really common concept in any content management system is the idea of tagging. right? Or taxonomy, as some other systems call it. The ability to say that this Donald Trump story belongs in a certain section of my site. So in this case, it's politics, right? So if we go over to US, it's probably going to be in this US section as well. But if we go in this US section, we can see that there are very specific stories here, right? If we go over to sports, however, those same stories don't appear because these are only going to be the stories that were tagged with the sports taxonomy. So now we have, hundreds and hundreds of story content pieces, but we can actually direct them to certain spots on the site using the power of the CMS. So I think that's a really fascinating thing. And that kind of brings me to what I really want to do today, right? So I want to use these tools and I want to create us a website. Okay, I want to create some kind of content website. And my heart is going towards like a video game website. Now, this is strictly for my professional profile and my own like understanding. So I'll probably be using a lot of dummy content on this. I'll just put a disclaimer on everything saying that this is not my content, etc. This is literally just a website for example purposes. It won't be monetized, and I may even link back to the source. I don't know. If I do push this live, I may do something different with the template, or I may just offer the template. For you guys to tinker around with. But I think for us to start, we should go find us a nice, let's go IGN. Let's go find a nice video game based website that we can steal from, right? And when I say steal, I mean like we're not going to create content ourselves tonight. We're not going to be sitting here writing articles, story articles. So we're probably just going to use some stuff that we find on the web. So let's look at their story template. Oh, this is pretty robust, right? They have the tags here. So this is the tags. This is the Super Mario section. So this is going to be everything Super Mario related. And then they have their title. They have a subtitle. They have their byline, which is Taylor Lyles. I'm guessing they have a person content type. Yep, these are all of Taylor's content articles or stories. They have 2 instances of date because you never know. A change may need to be made to the content, so you'll have an updated date and a posted date. They have what I like to call Lego blocks, but really they are more like elements of a story. So what I mean by Lego blocks or elements of a story is when you think of a story, right, it's like a bunch of text stacked on top of one another. But that's like the old way to write a story on the web, right? In Web 2.0 or Web 1.0 rather, a blog post or a forum post was like all text. And if there was imagery, it was really low. It was probably really lo-fi and it wasn't really capable of doing much, right? In today's world though, these Lego blocks are way more advanced. So for example, you can imagine this is a rich text block, right? So I can have as many of these as I want. But the interesting thing that websites do today is they let you interject more advanced elements in between those blocks, right? So you can imagine this is your first text block, like a rich text block. And then underneath that, there's this concept of a photo gallery, it looks like an inline photo gallery. Oh, that's beautiful. They did a really good job with this photo gallery. Look at that. Then they have the image metadata over to the right. They have a nice caption here. They have the image title here, and then the beautiful image here. I'm guessing they have tracking and accessibility things on the actual image DOM itself, which we can't even access, right? Because the way they wrote it, which is really clever. So yeah, so we will need something like that as well for our website. They also have an in this article section. What is that? I'm not sure how what the in this article section represents. I don't know if that movie was referenced in here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. All right. So yeah, so that's the goal, right? I want to build a gaming website. And I want to use Sanity.io. I want to use Vercel. Well, I want to use Sanity.io to power the content management system itself. I want to use Vercel to host everything. Actually, let's do this in order. I want to use Sanity.io to power the content management system itself. I want to use NextJS, which is built on top of React and TypeScript. I want to use NextJS to power the front end, so the visual part of it. And I want to use Vercel to host all of that information. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now that that's out of the way, whenever you're developing a website like this, The first thing you're gonna want to do is a super thorough content model. Now, what do I mean when I say a content model? So we talked about the idea that there were several elements that made up this one story. Okay, let's think about these for a second. So we have tags. Actually, I'm gonna come over to Canva. We'll go to a blank Canva. I already have this board here. Let's just fire up a sticky. And let's start taking note of all the different elements that our site is made up of, right? So right off the bat, we have tags. And that is very small. So let's make this like maybe 60. Yeah, so we have tags. And maybe let's bullet this. Yeah. We have tags. We have the story itself. That's where this title comes in, right? So the story. We have the person, right? So we have a person, a concept of a person content type. A person can be associated with a story. We have... And that's really it, right? That's really it, I think. As far as the bare minimum things that we are going to be doing today, for this series, we just want a website that has just that, right? I have a story. I have a bunch of stories, right? That's going to be all we focus on, our game stories. I have a bunch of stories. Those stories can be by whoever, like a person, and they can be placed in different sections of my website, right? So I may have a PlayStation tag where all of my PlayStation stories belong. I may have a person named Combo Junkie who's created these 10 stories, right? So that's kind of where we're gonna go with this. All right. So now that we have that, let's actually start real life modeling this content. Let's start with tags. So the concept of a tag seems really simple to me. It needs to have a title. Let's see, when you go to the Oppenheimer section, it needs to have an image. So let's do this. Let's start with tags. Let's do this. So let's go here. Actually, I don't want to do that. Let's just copy this. And now we will do, this is our tags. And let's just do the, we'll call this like tag fields. There we go. Alright, so our tag fields are gonna be, what did I say? I said a title. So a tag, I won't say tag title, tag is already implied, so we'll say title, and image. I don't see a description. Yeah, summary. Alright, so we'll do a description for ours. Yeah, we'll do a description for ours. And then what else does it have? Let's see if this has a sense of hierarchy, because sometimes a tag can be a part of a hierarchy. For example, sports can be a parent, but underneath sports you can have basketball. And then basketball could be a parent, but underneath that you could have high school, right? High school basketball. So let's actually, let's just take that into consideration. We'll have a field called parent, and if this field is null, then this tag itself is the parent, okay? I don't know if we need anything else. Just looking at how they did it. Let's actually look at some other gaming websites too. Gaming websites. No, let's say gaming news sites. GameSpot. Yeah, this is a really popular one. You gonna take me to it? Alright, kind of looks the same. I like the, it actually looks a little better in my personal opinion. But yeah, so here's a good example. If we go PS5, I wonder if they're gonna give me some children categories for this. It doesn't look like it. If we go news, these are the content type eyebrows here. Doesn't look like they're giving us any, it doesn't look like they're going any farther than the parent, which is fine. Let's go look at one more. I like the concept of hierarchy, but I am totally fine not having any hierarchy whatsoever. And we can always bake hierarchy in, but it's a little hard because if you start establishing relationships after the fact, then you have to go backdate all your content, which is not fun. It's never fun. Look at that, IGN number 2, Game Informer. That used to be one of my favorite ones back in the day. I don't know about Games Radar. I'm new to that one. So here's here's one that looks like it has subcategories. Yeah, game news, movies and TV, and then under, go to guides. Let's go PS5. Yeah, these are like not cheats. I remember they used to call them cheats, but that's what they call them here. But they're like walkthroughs or whatever. I used to buy these books from game shops. All right, so I think we're good here. I'm not gonna worry about the parent for this. If we find ourselves going more than one layer deep, then we can worry about the parent. You know what? I'm actually gonna worry about it because I am here to learn this CMS, and I want to challenge myself with doing very like complicated things. So let's go ahead and account for that. So I think tags is good. Let's actually do person next, and the reason I say that is because of all of these content types that I have here, these 3. Only one of them is going to reference the other 2, which is story. Story can reference tags, and a story can reference a person, right? But a person can't reference a story. Like, you wouldn't create a person and then tag a bunch of stories to that person. You'd create a story and tag a person to that story. And the same with tags, right? You create a story and tag a bunch of tags to that story. So we'll do person next. Actually, I'll actually move this up in the list so it's visual. And then we'll go here. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll go here. There we go. And we will, let's do this. Make these a little smaller because we'll need one more, right, for story. So we'll do that. Story's going to be big anyway, so I'm going to leave these alone now that I think about it, because story's going to be big. Let's get these back center stage. This out the way. Okay. So then we have story fields. All right, and a story is a lot, I think, right? I mean, sorry, not story, it's person fields. Person field. All right, jumping the gun there. All right, let's go to our home page, grab another story, grab a person. So this is Taylor. We already used her as an example. Get another example. Margot, oh, Taylor's on top of the world. If I'm not mistaken, IGN has a thing where their staff has to submit 5 articles per week, and I don't think they have a timing on it. So I imagine procrastinators or folks that are busy with other things may wait until the last day to do all 5 of their stories, thus pushing their content to the very front of the list on some days. So I am literally just guessing that. I have no idea if that's true. Okay, so let's talk about person. Person obviously needs a name. And I think name needs to be capable of being broken out into first name, last name. So I'll do first, middle, last, and then maybe a nickname or a handle. Something like that. Like I'll call it a nickname for our site, but you know what I mean. Something like their name may be Chris, but they go by Combo, right? So there's that. Let's do this is a title. Right, so it looks like they have a title. Okay. They have a bio. Yep, they have a bio. They have an image, which is awesome. And there's the handle, Mitchell IGN, I bet. An image. They have a handle, which we've already done in nickname. I guess we can... There's no time you'd ever show all 3 of these at the same time, so I'm actually going to pull nickname out, and nickname will just be handle. Trying to think. I think I do want this. And if I do want to... Is nickname a compound word? I think it is. And then maybe a handle as well, right? Maybe a site handle. So how folks on our site, knows them, right? Like, what do they know them by? So That feels like a nickname to me though. I'm just gonna say nickname suffices for the handle. And if that needs to change later, it should be capable of changing. And then we have social. We have social. And I think this should be selectable, right? You should be able to put in your Twitter, your Facebook, your IG, your YouTube, your Twitch, like all of those socials, right? You should be able to put in, and you know, we'll do something on the design side that says if you have 3 of those, all the icons pop up here, right? And I'm pretty sure you can click this and it goes in a new tab to his Twitter. Yeah, it'll be just like that, right? We'll be able to kind of peruse through these the content for our person. So I think we're good on person. I think that suffices for person. Okay, and let's get a little more descriptive about what we need for image as well, because it's not just image, right? We need the actual image file. We need the alt text, which is the text that you see when you hover over. It's like for accessibility. It's the text you see when you hover over an image. So like if we go here, right? We let's just click dev tools for him real quick. That loads. I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's the dev tools. This image tag has an alt text of his name, right? So if I hover over this and I just leave the mouse there, that should pop up. His name should pop up. All right, it's not popping up. But also, I think that's the title attribute actually that does that. The one that shows his, man, this is slow. I don't know how they're generating that. So let's see. No, there's no title tag. Let's add a title tag and see if that works. So we'll just use this. Yeah, title equals hover over me, bro. All right, and then now I think if we hover over him, the browser will the browser automatically shows that. So I'm definitely going to use that on our front end. But the alt text is more so for screen readers, right? So if a screen reader hovered over this, which I'm pretty sure you can do, White House, I suck at accessibility, honestly. I won't say I suck, but I could be better. This is page performance, but I know there's a way in here where you can do screen reading, and you can kind of test what the screen reader will see, right? And the way that works is you tab around, and this is just I don't know if anyone's done accessibility before, but if you tab around on any site, especially these days, you can actually tab through the site content. So this is actually ordered in a really weird way. You can see, like, here, let's just refresh this and see where we start when we tab in. So we start at IGN. Okay, so it's starting us through the menu, which is not bad, but it skips our guy. It skips the main reason we're here. It goes right into the more story section, which is not a good that's not a good experience for someone who's not who's not able to see. They're visually impaired and they need to rely on the screen reader. At this point in the navigation, I have no idea where I am, and I've been hitting tab the whole time. So yeah, this could use some cleanup on the accessibility side. Neither here nor there. We now know what we need for image is image file, alt, right? We need the caption, just in case underneath our image we want to say what the image is about. And that, I think this is going to suffice. I think we'll use our alt text for the title and alt tags, so we won't have to duplicate that. And I think that if we're talking about a person, the image is probably the same information, right? We want the file, the caption for that person, yeah, and the alt, right? So our image that we add to a person, we can pretty much piggyback this same model. So we'll do some recycling there. I think that's fine. And I think we're good there. I think we're good. I think now we can move on to the more difficult story content type. Okay, let's just pass this one more time. Yep, okay. Now we can move on to story. It's going to be a little bit more daunting, but it's going to be a lot of fun to build it out. Let's build story fields. Let's go ahead and just scrap all of that. Don't need it. Don't need it. All right, we will add a bullet here. There we go. And now let's go to a story. Let's go back home. Let's go to a different story this time. to an Adam Driver, who is a really cool Star Wars guy. And let's start seeing what fields we would need to make up this story. So right off the bat, we know we need tags. We need the ability to add multiple tags. So there's going to be a tags field, which is going to be a reference to this content type, right? So it's going to be a tag content type reference, okay? And then we need a title. And then I won't add this here. I think this is implied as well. You know what? I'll add it as a subnet, like a little, but right? So I'll just call it a tag reference. And then we need a title, and we need a subtitle, it looks like, right? Because that's what that looked like underneath. We need a person. So just like we have a person content type, we need a reference. I mean, just like we have a tags reference, we need a, so we'll call this a tags reference. Okay. We need a person reference. So the ability to call out one or more people, one or more tags. We need a date field. So, you know what? I think Sanity is going to give us these out of the box. I think I'm going to hold off on adding these as manual fields for now, because I think Sanity is going to give us a way to say, when was this published? That's what the posted date really means. When was this published? Versus when it was, like, actually added to, actually edited, like last updated, right? So I think Sanity is going to give us the out of the box. We're going to hold off for that. The next piece is probably what I see as my favorite part of any of these new modern article templates. I call them story elements, right? A lot of people call them Lego blocks. They're called components in a lot of places. I've seen them called paragraphs. And what a component, or an element, as we're going to be calling it, an element of a story is anything that represents a single row, right? A row, a chunk of digital content, right? So this HTML, this rich text here that I have highlighted, technically that is an element. This image, right, with its caption, you can click it, it goes to wherever, you can see the full thing. That is an element. Okay, this here is an element, another text element. This is a social Twitter element of some sort, right? These are elements, and we want these elements. We want the ability to place these elements. Now, here's the thing though, right? Back in the day when you were working with elements, there was kind of some limitations in place. If you were to make a template, you were sometimes forced to say, well, you see how there's a paragraph here, and then a second paragraph here, and then an image, and then a paragraph here, then social? You would have to have baked that in back in the day, where you would say something like, if we go here, pull up another one of these. Like, you would have to do something like this. It's crazy. Hold on, let me just undo that. Undo that. You would have to do something like this back in the day. You'd have to be like, so pretend this is the HTML, right? It'd be like graph. This is my template. This is my code. It'd be like a graph, and then another graph, and then an image, and then a graph. You know what I mean? And then social. And now every single story that you would have on your site would have to follow that structure. They would basically have a slot. Right? That's what they were called too in a lot of CMSs that I dealt with back in the day. Zope, News Cycle, those guys. They called them slots. And a slot was baked into the template. And what they did was they gave you a bunch of data, and they said, hey, there's going to be a pocket in your data that has an image. Just dump it into slot 3, right? It'll always live in slot 3. And then folks started saying, well, what if I want it in slot 7? Or what if I just want to pick and choose where it goes in general, right? And that's where the concept of elements and components came in, right? We can actually pick and choose which things we want to stack in order to make up our story, right? And it has to make sense contextually. So we're able to do that. We have the power to do that. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Let's go back over to our story. And we know the next thing we need is our elements, okay? And now I want to talk about what elements we need. I imagine there's a feature. Let's do this too. I think there's a featured image in here. Most of the time, like if we go to like the USA Today example that we have, most of the time news websites, good stories have really good, compelling featured media. Okay, featured media being in a prime position of the page, like the first thing you see. So the featured slot. That's legit. It could be an element, but it's usually a. You know what? We're gonna make ours an element. We're gonna no, I don't want to make ours an element. You know why? Because I would want my featured media in this position to look and feel different than the same content type. So like let's say I had a video in my story, or let's say this is an image. I may want to do something different with this featured image than I would with this image. So we're gonna try, you know, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see if we can pull it off. If we can just say that one of the types that we have is featured media, and then that can choose from either an image or a video, and then we're gonna see if that works. Okay, so we'll just say that's our first thing, a featured media piece. The second thing is obvious, right? We need a text block. Oh, it's text block, and that's just gonna be like our rich text editor, WYSIWYG editor. We need an image. We need a gallery, because what if we had a bunch of images, right? What if we wanted it to be so that when you click this, there was like 8 that I saw one of them earlier, actually. Yeah, here's one. Here's a really good example of a gallery. This isn't just a single image, it's a gallery, right? So when you click this, it goes to a whole presentation. This looks beautiful, right? They have oh man, this is so good. They got the whole little section over here with all the different caption information. I guess you can turn it into a grid if you're getting lazy. Yeah, this is pretty clutch. So yeah, so we're gonna have we'll need to tinker with that. I think there's probably some room for us to play with this, to be like, well, I'll do an image type, and then from the image type I'll choose whether it's a single image or a gallery. I don't know. For now, we'll just assume that we're gonna do let's just assume we'll do a gallery, okay? And maybe on the front end, we can do some logic that says if there's only one image in that gallery, then this is how it behaves, right? Because you don't need fancy controls. You know, if... Oh, wait, never mind. I think we'll use featured media. Let's just call this media. Doesn't even need to say featured. We'll see if we can get away with not having a different look and feel for the media in the feature position versus the other positions. And then for video, we don't need that now, right? Because we have media, which covers those two. So after gallery, what else can we see them adding here? Looks like here's a ad. So on the web, these are usually called call to action button blocks, right? So it tells the user to do something, like it encourages them or entices them to buy something, spend something, whatever. So I think we are gonna want that. I think we are gonna want to like inject ourselves into the minds of our users. So we will add that as well. And that can show up anywhere, right? You can imagine in the middle of this, it says like, click here to learn more about Miles Morales, right? So it's like a self ad. Not to be confused with actual ads, right? This is like you advertising yourself, okay? All right. So now that we have this first level breakdown, we need to go further with these elements because this is not enough, right? So if we go back to this guy, right? This is our let's not use this one exactly. Let's go back. Let's pull up a different one. Let's go back to this one. Not that one. There was one where there was just a single image. Oh, nice. Dragon Age? Is this Dragon Age? This is totally a new Dragon Age. Wait, unless Dragon Dogma has just always been like Dragon Age.
Reveals and more. We got.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm a huge Dragon Age Inquisition fan, so that is kind of exciting to see. So we do know that we have so this is a featured video slot here though. You see how it expands even farther out? Let me refresh this just to make sure. Yeah, so we do need this concept of like a featured position where the media looks a little different than it does when it's in story, right? So it could be the same media, but it just feels a little different. So we will have a featured position here. So I think media is fair. I think what it means though is that featured is basically just a reference to media, right? So featured media, what we'll do is we'll use whatever the model is that we come up with for media. We'll also use it for featured, but the front end will dictate whether or not it looks a certain way, right? So that's how we'll handle that. But yeah, you will be able to add featured media and maybe perhaps choose from existing media that you've created on other stories or add it to the system. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out when we get there. You know what this is making me think though is that we probably do need this concept of a content type that is a gallery. Because am I ever going to want to use this gallery on any other story is the question. Probably not. Probably not. Let's not go down that rabbit hole because it can get really tricky. So we'll just do featured media, which we know is going to be image and video. We'll do media, which is image and video, and we'll figure out how these play together in a bit. Text block is probably just going to be a text field, right? Text area field. Gallery is, let's think about that actually. Hang on, we're not done, okay? We're not done. So featured media, what does it include, right? It includes more than just the, let's go back. It includes more than just the, I think there is, that's not a good example. Let's see if we have a featured media slot here now. Man, for a video game website, they really don't have many, like artsy fartsy articles. Let's go to a game spot. All right, yeah, let's see. That's a beautiful one. Nope. Well, maybe there's not a lot with featured here. All right, wow, perfect. That's a great example we just stumbled on. Okay, so it looks like they have a title. This is the title of the story, though. I bet. Yeah. So maybe we don't need to classify our media, right? I think we probably should do some metadata for accessibility. So we'll do a title, a description, and then we'll do a media array, right? And the media array will allow you to choose from one of these, okay? You can have a bunch of different pieces of media in here. And then the same for media, right? We'll do a title. Maybe what we can do is say, because this data structure is too similar for us not to take advantage of this, right? So I'm starting to wonder if what we do is say if the very first element is a media type, then we just change what it looks like in the styles. You know what I mean? And that way we get away with just having one data structure. I think that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna just I'm gonna get rid of media. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of media, and I'm just gonna call this media, right? Instead of I'm gonna get rid of feature media, just call it media, and media will have a title, a description, and then media will be an image, and we know that this image has a image file, alt. Let's make this a little wider. It's getting really robust. Alt and caption. And then video is going to have a video file, probably a transcript. What else? It'll be cool if we had duration, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Video file, a transcript, and it's not caption. I don't know if videos have captions. I think they just have descriptions, right? So I'll do a description. All right. Yeah, so that feels right to me. That feels better to me. That media is a title, a description, and then an array of media types, and the two that we're going to support are image and video. All right, perfect. And then we have our concept of a gallery. Now, a gallery, in my opinion, is literally media, but a bunch of media, right? So it's going to be an array of media. That's it. So assume everything under here, right? So if we go ahead and grab all that, basically this is our, you know what I mean? Like this is our Like straight up, like this is our like an array of these though, right? Like you can have a bunch of different media blocks. Because one piece of media can be like a bunch of things. Now, we could also say, hey, let's not do that. Instead, let's do just the image, right? So we could just say an array of images. And that would be, actually, that's going to be a little easier for us to deal with anyway. So let's just do that for now. Image, alt, and caption. Well, all right, I just blew that up. Uh-oh, come on, Canva. You're letting me down right now. Yeah. Alright. And then, yeah, we'll get rid of the video for now. We don't need that. Alright. It would be cool, but we don't need it right now. And a call to action requires what? What do we need for a call to action? So we saw one in here. So for their call to action, they have a bunch of stuff, right? They have a title. They have a subtitle. They have a summary. A description. They have the actual call to action button, which is a link type, which we haven't even talked about yet. And they have, actually, let's go back here. We are missing something on our story, which is we need a way to get to the story, and that is called a slug or a URL alias in some cases, or a link. We're going to go with slug because I know that is what Sanity uses, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so going back to this, do we want a robust CTA like this? I don't think so. If we need to enhance it in the future, so be it. For now, we're going to do something really basic. We're going to say our CTA is just a blurb of text. So, hey, you should click here, and then a button for you to click. So if you think about that in template form, it's always going to be something like this, right? Where you have, well, like this, right? Here, let's actually scope this out a bit more. It's going to look more like this, I think. If we got rid of him, and we got rid of, actually, if we got rid of that too, ours is gonna look more like this, where we have a title and a link object, and maybe we should keep the description. So title and description. All right, but we don't need this little that. Let's just do title, description, and link. Okay. So a CTA is a title, description, and a link. And a link, as you know, is more than just one thing, right? It's actually a link text and a URL, right? Like a hyperlink. So we'll use that, and I think we're good. I think this is a good stopping point for elements. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break elements out into its own thing, since these are all so crazy. And even beyond that, I'm gonna break these into their own things as well. So let's go out, and let's say that we have these things here. Let's get rid of this now. These things here make up our content types. So let's do up here. Let's say content types. Oh geez, if I can type, no pun intended. Okay. I don't know why my name is there. I don't know why they keep doing it. How do I get rid of it? Get out of here, name. There it is, okay. Move name, why are you even there? Alright, I don't want this. Let's do label. Let's just find a label. Find a cool label. Because we're going to be using this for the whole duration of the project, so we need this to kind of be snazzy. Needs to be easy to consume. Alright, and let's call this really? Let's look at it, alt text right here. Oh, this is a graphic. Maybe that's why. It needs to be a photo. I think that's how we're able to type in it. I would have to just put the text on top of it, I guess. Why can't you easily type in these? Like, what the heck? I thought that would be way easier. All right, so now we just have to pick something that looks good, I guess. All right, let's just do that, and then now we can go some text. Content. All right, content types. That needs to obviously be way bigger. Do what, 30? 50? All right, 50 is good. Go ahead and make that bold. Let's zoom out. Make that way bigger. That's way bigger, so let's do like 100. Go ahead and stretch that out a little more. A little more. Round it by that. Okay. And now let's just position this center. Let's position this. Middle it. All right, that looks good. All right, let's group this so we can keep using it for our labels going forward. So this is gonna be our content types. And then now we need elements, right? So we need something that expresses that these are elements. Let's do one more thing too. I wanna center this, I wanna group these, right? I wanna group all of these. And then I wanna center them. So no, I just wanna horizontally space them. So first let's lock these. Hang on, what did I do? So I am going to, can I group these yet? Doesn't look like I can group them yet, but I may be able to group these three. Oh, maybe I can do that. Yeah, but that's what I was trying to do. That's fine. All right. That's gonna drive me crazy, not being able to do what I just tried to do, but that's okay. Oh, so there it is. So it's grouped now. So maybe that was the problem. Oh, that's definitely not working. Tidy up. No, that's not right. That does look cute though, the way they just tried to do that. It's okay. What if I lock these? I'm not even sure why I can't group these, honestly. All right, no, it doesn't matter. We won't get caught up on this. Okay, so we have our content types. Now we have different elements within these content types that I think we need to pull out. So before we even get into that, though, I noticed that on the person social thing, we need to know what this is, right? So these are the types. So maybe one of the fields is called type. Right, so you choose which one you want, and we don't need to like label these right here. We can do that in the CMS. There's going to be a type field, and then there's probably going to be a link field. So these are going to be how you create social badges. These to me are elements, but not in that sense though. They're not elements in the sense of the elements that we have here. And I kind of want to blow all of these out though. I kind of want to break all of these out. So I want image here, but I don't want this here. So let's actually take a step back. Let's create a new one of these called elements. So elements. I don't know why I don't use the caps lock more often. I find myself trying to hold shift and hit like all the buttons I need to hit. It's insane. So all right, so we got elements. Let's actually steal this guy and let's condense it so that it's just our elements, and then that way our content type, so we'll have a bunch of smaller stickies here, but that'll also make these a little smaller too. So like for example, one of them that we know we need right off the bat is media. Right, and this is media here, right? Which media is gonna be a reference to even more elements. So there's a media element, and a media element has a title, a description. It has an array of media, right? Which has an image. Right, so even right off the bat, even more of these. Let's go even farther in, right? So I'm gonna just come out of here a bit, and I'm gonna start at. I'm not gonna start with media. I'm gonna start at our innermost element that we have so far, which I think is image and social. These are our two innermost elements right now. So let's start with those. Let's start with image. And then we know what's in image, right? It's just those things. So actually what we can do is just do this. There we go. So now we have our image. Let's go ahead and pull this back a bit. Yeah, and there we go. All right, so now we have our image. And then now let's do our social. So, and we'll make this really small, as tight as it needs to be, right? That. Oh, not again. Get my name out of there. What are you doing? Okay, hopefully that doesn't keep happening. So that's our image. And then we'll do social. Okay. Social, I think it was just link. Well, no, it's type and link. Alright, we can that as tight as we can get it. Okay. Let's try to keep it that. Alright, and then after social, we now can move on to the elements that we find in our here in our story elements, which the first one that we have, the innermost, is a video. We've already done image, right? So the first one is a video. Okay. We have video file transfer. Yep. Just realized that this is not how I'm organizing it. Alright. And then after that we have the text block. That yeah, so we got 6 in total, so let's go ahead and do text block. On Canva, you're starting to PMO. Alright. This is gonna be an array of images, right? So that's our what is that, the gallery? Gallery, which is just a basically has an images, right? Which we've already done, so we don't need to do that again. Alright, so I'll say array of image refs. Yep, because we'll just reference this. It's fine. And then a CTA is its own thing, so let's go ahead and scope that out. Alright. And then we'll be ready right after this to start actually diving in. Description. Link text. And I'm not gonna do, I know it's probably possible to look at link as its own element, but I don't want to do that, not yet. I may do that eventually, which reminds me I need to do this, right, which is going to be link text and URL. But some of these things are, I don't want to get too granular, you know what I mean? I don't want to get so granular that it doesn't even make sense to keep going, right? So, all right, so for media, which is, this is just the field. The media is a, let's call this an element type, okay? So maybe that's the field name, right? So element type is the field name, right? So one of the options in that dropdown is going to be obviously media. So that's the breakdown for media. So what we can do, actually, that is an element now. So let's leave this like this. But I do want to get rid of this stuff just because it's super long. So yeah, there's that. That's fine. Okay, and then a text block. And a gallery. We'll just say an array of images. We no longer need to call these out. And then that. So that shortens that up quite a bit. Now that's going to be image social. Okay. And once again, they are. That was my name. I wonder, can I just select all these? Yeah, I love it. I can't lie. This is probably one of the best editing piece of editing software I've ever used in my life. And I used to be really big in Adobe. Like, I used to be really into it and got really good at it. Understand all the bells and whistles. And that still doesn't come close to how much I like Canva. It is a paid service, but I feel like it's definitely been worth it. I've had it for a few years now. It was actually one of the first of those online software as a service things I decided to pay for. I used to be really adamant about not paying for software as a service because I was like, you can just get the software, you know, at home, like on your regular machine. You don't have to use the web version of it. But yeah, they have proven that that's not true anymore. All right, so we got some elements. We got some content types. I believe we are ready to get started with our site. I'm gonna move this over just so it's a little more pleasant on the eyes. Looks like there's some issues with alignment here as well. Let's make sure this is lined up. There we go. All right, so now we have our content types and our elements. Now, normally I would say this is the part where you, instead of diving right into your code and starting to do things, I would say wireframe out a site. Even if it's just like a very, very, very bare bones site, wireframe it out. However, for us, we have two things that are making me lean towards not doing that, right? So the first thing we have making me lean towards not doing that wireframe is the fact that we're going to be creating a dummy website, right? It's not a real website. So we don't have anything writing on the fact that we have a crappy design. There's that. Another reason, though, is that we're going to be using tools like NextJS and Sanity UI that have like these really cool baked-in design concepts, like component concepts already in place. So it's going to be things like Tailwind CSS, I imagine. Things like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bootstrap back in the day when it was like all the rave, but there are certain tools out there that exist today that make it extremely simple to build hate to say this, but a template that looks even more modern than what's here on GameSpot. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take a small break, get something to drink, kiss my wife, and then I will be back to do the second part of this stream, which is us actually diving into the code and building out our first content type in the Sanity environment and playing around with the reference content types as well. So we'll look at that in a second. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right. 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 We are back. Okay. So let's just recap where we are before we dive into anything fancy schmancy. Okay. So let's get rid of that. Make this a little bigger. So we are going to be developing ourselves a content management system, and it's going to power a website that we design, a video game themed news site. Okay, and it's going to be similar to these big guys like GameSpot and IGN, where we have some stories that are by people and tagged to appear in certain sections of the website. We're going to be using Sanity.io as the content management system. We're going to be using NextJS to power the front end using React and TypeScript components. And we're going to be using Vercel to host and deploy it all. And that's going to be our kind of DevOpsy side of things. Now, I've taken the liberty of doing all of that setup DevOpsy stuff for you. I am not great at that, so I did not do it on camera. I didn't do it during the break just now. I actually did it before I even started streaming, just so I had it ready, because I always run into crazy issues, and I didn't want that to kind of overshadow the stream. So what I will do though, and you guys can let me know if you're interested in this, I could put a video describing, like explaining how to do that, like the steps to go through to actually get a running Sanity NextJS Vercel implementation. But for now, I'll assume that you can go through the setup steps to at least get to the starting point. And for those who are interested in what I used as my starter, I actually used my no, not this. It was a guide. It was in the get starting section. And it was create your first project, and then in here, no, it wasn't in here. It was actually Vercel, maybe. No, it wasn't here. It was hang on, hang on. It was in the documentation. Developers. Maybe shoot. Oh yeah, start from a template. It was this guy, and I used the clean Next.js Insanity app. I am a huge fan of Remix for sure, but I have personal reasons to want to use Next.js right now. And plus, I just feel like they do the most React heavy stuff, and I need to get good at React, so that's kind of why I'm using that. I'm gonna come back here, and I want to put some more tunes on. I love the background tunes. I'm a huge fan of the chill hop year mixes. We're gonna put some more of that on in the BG. And all right, so that being said, I think we are ready to just dive in and get started. So let's head over to our whoops, that's not right. Let's head over to our VS Code, and we are going to fire up our app by running npm run dev, I think. Yep. This is going to fire up a combination application that came out of the box with this starter kit. Essentially, it has a portal for the... Hang on, I'm starting to not even be able to hear myself talk. It's not even that loud. Okay, there we go. It's just my headphones. But yeah, this gives you an all-in-one package, right? You have the Next.js, front end on the same local server as your Sanity Studio. That's just the way it's built. And they give you this all out of the box, so it's really cool. Now, I've done nothing, okay? I know we've just put together this really cool content model, and we are definitely ready to get started with some things, but I have done nothing to my Sanity instance. So what we'll see here is it should be literally exactly what like your starting point will look like if you just got started today. Like, I may have created like one piece of content just to like see what that looked like, but that was really it. So yeah, I created this this one piece of content here, but that's it. So now we need to find out how to manage our studio, and the way you do that is you just go to /studio. That's a slug. If we look back in VS Code, That's a sanity slug that was created for you. So if we go into pages under Studio, you can see that the declared index there is a straight up Next Studio component, and that loads in your Studio. This is taking a little longer than usual to load. Maybe it's because it's my, oh yeah, so it's my first time, so it's compiling everything from scratch, right? It has to build everything from scratch. So there we go, right? That's my active Studio. It has my actual data in there, and this can be deployed to the web, and all of this stuff will exist, right? So I have something called a post. This comes out of the box with the starter kit that I shared, and it just gives you this post content type. So this is going to look through the database, find anything that's a post, and it'll give you all the data here. We're not going to use this content type, but we will keep it in our back pockets because I like some of the things that they do here, and I'll be using its schema to develop our other content types a little more easily, right? I don't want to have to recreate the wheel if I don't have to. So let's get started. The first thing I think we need to do is, when you create content in a content management system, you want to work your way from the innermost element outward, right? And the reason you do that is because of this. If I have a piece of content, right, that's called a story, and a story can reference a tag, but I don't have a tag type built, well then now I can't even make that tag field, right? If I have a field called person in my story content type that references the person content, and I don't have a person content type in my system, well now I can't make a person field. So you're gonna wanna go through anything that is a innermost content type, not an element, a content type, and you're gonna wanna build those out first. So we're gonna start with our tag field, okay? We're gonna build our tag field first, and we're gonna make that thing, make it do what it do. So I'm over here in my pages section. I need to be in my schema section, and we can see here we have some things out of the box. This is a very good starting point because it's actually a blueprint on how we need to go about adding our own content types. So they have something called block content, and they have something called post. As we get deeper into the project, we're going to get rid of these altogether, but I think for now we can keep them in. I literally just thought I saw someone sitting in this chair right to my right, and I got really scared. Oh, that was creepy. We've been looking at some really scary movies lately too. So anyway, so we're gonna take this post .ts file, right, TypeScript file. We're gonna first try and understand what it's doing. So that's what I like to always do. I like to kind of peruse through it, understand what it's doing first. And this one's so straightforward, and that's what I love about NextJS. Sanity. All of their stuff is so well thought out, and all of their code is so easy to understand that it takes very little to kind of pick up and go, right? So looking at this, we can see that they've imported a couple of types, right, from the Sanity library, from this package, define field and define type. So let's talk about that real quick. So a type, there are several types in Sanity that you get out of the box. An example of a type could be something like a string, right, which is a straight up text field. A type could also be an array of fields, right, like a bunch of fields. For example, another type is a URL field, right? That's a type that they have already available to you, or a slug field, right, that has a bunch of functionality already baked in. And we'll be creating our own types, right? When we look at these elements, these are types, right? Image is a type that we need to create, and we need to tell it to have certain things. So we're going to be leveraging that. So we already know that we want to create a type. And going back to the Sanity Studio, I want to explain one more thing real quick, which is the concept of a document. Document versus a type. Okay, content type versus a content document. A content document, or a document, I'm not even going to say the word content, right? We all know it's a content management system. Content should be implied. A document is a piece of content that is meant to be reused. Okay, so you can imagine a story for us is going to be a document, because we're going to be reusing that thing all over the place, right? We're going to be reusing it on different templates. We're probably going to be referencing it in some of our other content types that we haven't even thought of yet, etc. Person is the same thing, right? But on the other hand, an image, for example, Now you could see some reusability in images, but Sanity takes care of that for you. If there's two images that are the same, they actually simplify that for you. So our image field doesn't need to be a document, right? We don't need to make multiple instances of that one image. Whereas our story content type, right? Our story type does need to be a document because we need to be able to make multiple instances of that type. Right? We need to be able to say story 1, story 2, right? All these different stories. Person 1, person 2, all these different person. The same for tags. So let's start off by copying this. Let's go into our tags now. We're going to copy that. We're going to paste that in schema. We'll go ahead and rename this. Whoops. We will rename this to tag. Okay, singular. And we're going to just start going through. We're going to get rid of every field. And I am a really big stickler on being able to reuse everything that I can. So in this case though, whoops, let me go back, sorry about that. In this case, I don't want to yet. I want to start getting familiar with the syntax to the point where I can at least do some of this easy stuff myself. Okay, so I know that the name of this is going to be a tag. The title for this is going to be tag. I'm going to say plural, right? So they were singular with this post. I'm going to say it's going to be plural for us here. And then they have a preview here. We're going to hold off on the preview for now. Their preview was looking through the author field, grabbing the image, etc. We have some stuff like that as well that we'll play with when we get to this part. But for now, we're going to ignore this. And we are just going to start defining our fields. So if we look here, let me just show you what this looks like. We can see that the array instant, like these must return objects, right? These must return like this, right? Because this is a method that right now, this is a Sanity JavaScript method that literally they're stacking these, and you pass it a few bits of data in object form, and it must return you back an object that populates this fields array with the desired object. So for us, we'll actually keep that first one. No, we'll get rid of it. Doesn't matter. All right, just so we can see the structure. So let's do it. Define field, right? And then that's a comma. And then it's going to be an object. Okay. Each object has a name. Okay. And for us, our name for this is going to be the first field we'll do. Actually, let's break this down first. Let's get some comments going. So we'll do title. We'll do image. We'll do description. And we'll do parent, right? This is going to be our reference to another tag in the system. All right, so we haven't done any of these before. Let's dig in. So we'll move this back up. I think it's that. Yeah, we'll move that back up. Okay, so this is going to be title. And the beautiful thing about the Sanity define field method is that if you wanted, right, I could say that the title of this field was some cool title, right? However, if I wanted my title to match my name but be uppercase, right? If I had something like job underscore title, if I wanted my title to be job title, I don't need to supply title. If I had something like title as my name and I wanted my title to be title, uppercase title, I don't need to supply title. Sanity will automatically convert those to titles for you based on this machine ID. So we can ignore that. Now we need a type. So this is obviously going to be our string type. And I am getting this information from what I remember about the Sanity docs. And they are really awesome docs. I mean, they did a really good job with these docs. But if we go look at the documentation section and we look at the references, we can see here, if we go under schema, all of the different types that they allow you to add. And for us, text, it would be like a text area. We want just a string though. We just want that plain Jane string type. Okay. And we also want to make this a required field. So we want to add validation here. So let's see what what it looks like when you add validation to a field. So let's just go to any field here. It doesn't matter. We just want to find any validation example. Let me go block. And every single one of these are, oh, there's look at that, learn more about validation. We didn't even need to do that. So if we wanted to, we can always specify validation, okay? And then look at that, there's some stuff there that my IDE is trying to do for me. And it's gonna be rule, and then this is a anonymous function to rule.required. And I could put a limit on this, a character count limit on this as well, which I do think I want to do now that I think about it. Let's do let's just do a max count of, let's say that it can't be any longer than, let's do a count of some of these. Actually what we'll do is we'll spoof this to see if this is 3 decks long, is it ugly? We'll say sometimes you have to see how long a title can be. So that looks bad to me, right? That looks bad to me. So we'll stop it at sometimes you have to. Okay? That's fine. That's fine. Now let's see how many character count. Whoops. Yeah, let's just do this character count online. Probably another really fast way to do that, but all right. 82 characters. So we'll do a max of 80. No, we'll do a max of 90. Let's give them a little breathing room there. And I'm going to start editing this so that we have a tags. Wait, does that mean I edited this one? Oh, no, okay, we're good. So I want to start editing this to make sure we have our like we're ready for this to become our actual content type in the system. So now we have our first field that we've ever done, which, yay, we did it. Now we want to bring this into the mix, right? So the first thing I remember seeing is that there was this here. I'm going to say I want to import tag from tag. And then this is going to also be tag, right? Or did I say tags plural? No, just tag. So the type is singular, right? This is a tag, but in the UI, when a user goes to look at all the tags, when they click that link, I want it to say tags plural. So we'll need to keep that in our heads. So now let's go back over to Sanity. I just saved that. And let's see if we refresh this, if we get our tags here, and we don't, right? So something's still missing. Let's go over to our configuration. And we can see here, there's some stuff for the URL. We're not there yet. Whoops. Let's see if they actually have a post. The desk tool. Nope. So schema type should inject it. Let's see. Oh wait, I see what we did. So it's just gonna be, we just have to add it, not I don't know why that's not automatically reloading either. Normally it reloads by itself when you make a change, but for some reason this one's not. All right, let's just make sure we are actively editing this thing. Let's change this to posts. That's gonna drive me crazy that that's not reloading on its own. No, so this isn't connected right now. Something's off. Something's off right now. So we're gonna cancel this out. We'll go ahead and get out of here, and then let's do it again. There it is. That's I think that's compiling our next app. And then now if I hit the studio, I wonder, is it going to show these new changes I made to the post? Yeah, there's tags though, and there's posts. Let's see if now it's fixed. All right, we have to fix that, guys. That's gonna drive us crazy if we don't do it. Let's say npm run dev not auto. Yeah, let's say auto reload. Yeah. What the heck is a hot reload? Why is he using that verbiage? Alright, I need to see what this means, because I don't know what hot reload means. Oh, okay. Alright, so that might be it, actually. That might be it. I don't know why he calls it hot reload. That's kind of cute. So that's going to be in our packages that, Alright, I gotta kill this video feed for my IDE because I have sensitive data in here. So let me just do this for a second and see where that needs to go. Oh, they said it might have to go in a .env file, so is that going to be env.local? It's probably env.local. Oh, whoops. Let's see if it's env.local. And? Yeah, there we go. Let's see, save that. Alright, and then now, let's see, if I go back to this guy. So that did just refresh. But now, let's see, what if I do that? So, no, we may have to shut it down and start it back up. Yeah, it did reload that env though. Alright, so I'm gonna actually close that and open the one for my IDE. I'll get it back open in a second. I just want to close out some of these files real quick. No, we need this guy again. Studio. I've gotten rid of the S's in post, but we'll see when this pops back up. If I can actually make changes and see it change now, I think we're good. Yeah, because it should be listening no matter what, right? Which is, I had the other. Yeah, see, I just made another change and it's still not doing it. So bear with me, guys. Let me try one more thing. And then I'm going to go back to Google and answer if I can't find it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. Hang on. I don't care about hot reload. Let's say. So there's a config with a server key, maybe. Where's the server key? That'd be in package.json if I'm not mistaken. And it's gonna be use polling. Let me just do a search in here. I'm not using Fight. Let's try just next, right? Auto refreshing. Okay. You have to use npm run dev, which I totally did. So it's not Next that's not doing it, right? It's Sanity that's not doing it. I don't know where's DNA. Yeah, shoot. That's so crazy because my other project did have this working. So I don't know if it's a NextJS problem or this combination that I have. Maybe it's something like that. Let me try one thing. Let's do... how did I just... go. Oh, that's still not working though, so I'm not sure what's not. Gotta love this. What was it? Next sanity starter doesn't auto reload. Not caring about right now, though that is scary that might be an issue. So maybe because this is the Sanity Studio version, I don't get the auto reload. Maybe I have to keep deploying it. Oh shoot, so it is Vite. Vite was the problem then. Wait, I didn't see any Vite stuff in the Sanity CLI .ts. Let me see what the other one did here. It was like something like they won't. I hate when that happens. Oh, that's crazy that they shut you out of it. Alright, this is it. Okay, so... Alright, and let's just do this now. I know how to get the other one open. Document. Okay. All right. So now we should have both of them up. I feel like something ain't. So we do have something on here called incremental compiler options. Oh no, we have it there as well. We got preserve JSX, and then we got the includes there. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand what's not working. That's so weird. Let me see if the other thing works. So if we go here and we do npm run dev, and let's actually go into that starter kit, because we did kind of jump in without. So maybe I have to always do, hang on, maybe I have to always do the npm install and npm run dev, which is a little weird to me. I don't see why that would be required, but even this is saying, like, when you run this development server, the change you make in your front end and studio configuration will be applied live using hot reloading, which is what we want, right? That's exactly what we want. Wait, what's this vulnerability? Yeah, actually, let's kill this. Let's do audit fix. I'm just doing like DevOpsy stuff right now. It's really boring. I will go ahead and turn this back on though, because it's been off for a while. I hate this kind of troubleshooting live during a video thing series though, because it's very, like, the value isn't there, you know? Like, it's not very valuable to see me doing this type of troubleshooting. Unfortunately, that's what we are. Yeah, there it is. Let's go back now. All right, so it worked. And then now this is what I'm reading, right? It says npm install and npm run dev, which I've never seen you had to do both for that, but who knows? Like maybe it's for some reason you have to do both here. It's worth a try. Go ahead, shut that down. All right, let's open in browser. This is gonna get us our compiled Next.js app. Let's see if the hot reloading is at least working for this, right? Let's actually update one of the post pages. So this is the, no, let's update index, right? This is index. Let's get, let's say this is a section. Yeah, this is just all my posts, right? And then they have a welcome component here. Where's that? Components. Welcome. I guess what's that? Next steps. Where's next steps? I don't see next steps. I don't see any of it. Let's, instead of welcome, maybe welcome was conditional. Yeah, it was conditional. So this is, let's just go container. Yep, and then let's get rid of the made with sanity. That's probably a, yeah, that's this, right? So let's get rid of that. Say, hey man. Yeah, see, hot reloading isn't working. Let's see if they do anything else about hot reloading here. No, they don't. Looks like some people are facing the same problem. Oh, snaps. Snaps. 2 snaps. Alright, I think I know the answer now, guys. Okay, so what we'll do... Let's do this. Hang on. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll do make dir. I don't even need to do that. I can just do. Hang on. Oh wow, that's crazy. Who would have thunk it? All right, and then now I should be able to do. Let me go ahead and share this back. You guys can see what's not working. If this works, I'm not gonna say it's just all of a sudden gonna work, but we'll see. I'm gonna do can never remember these commands. I think it's just mv, right? Yeah, mv. Hang on. Oh, nice. Alright, this should actually be getting shut down slowly but surely. I always make that mistake with WSL. I keep forgetting you can't do that. But I'll explain it once this is done, if it works. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, we'll see. It'll take a minute to move the mouse. Oh, that would have been way faster actually. Let me do it this way. Do that, and then we'll come back over here. Probably too late. Yeah, so what I'll do is just kill that. I thought that would be way faster. That was like super slow. And now I should be able to grab that here. Oh, that's why it's something to use. Alright, so what we'll do is come back to this guy and shut it down. Okay. I should be able to try these again. There we go. Alright, so while this moves, that one more time. Maybe I have to shut this down too. What else could be in the way here? Let's see. Oh no. Well, we didn't do much, right? So I think I'm just gonna start a new project. Not start a new project, but clone it to a different directory altogether. Because I'm having some issues now with the directory I was trying to clone it to. I was just trying to do a copy paste from my local, but because I was speaking from the mounted drive, it was taking like 8 years, so let's not worry about that. I'm gonna head over here to my GitHub. I created a GitHub specifically for this project. So I can't remember where it is, but I'll just log in and hopefully I get lucky. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Yep. Alright, so I will use my gh command to clone that. So what I want to do now is I want to be like cd out of here. And let me do one thing for you guys. I want you guys to... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to rm rf this trend. Alright, and then now I'm going to pipe you guys into the other VS Code window so you guys can kind of see where I'm at from here. I don't know if this is going to work. I do want to keep prefacing that. When you guys think like, oh, he has this figured out, I really genuinely don't know if this is gonna work. But I'm gonna make a. I'm not even gonna make, right? I'm just gonna run this gh command, which should clone my repo, and I'm gonna clone it into trend junkie. All right. So now if I cd trend junkie, okay, cool. So I'll do code dot. And then now I'll close this because you guys are probably still seeing that one. I'll open this other one instead. So there we go. I believe this is the right one. Okay, and now what I'll do, I don't know if any of this works, right? But I think now we can do that other stuff, right? So I have to reconnect everything though, which is I have to go back to their docs in Versailles land. Where is it? This guy. So on the repo, link. And you only have to do this once. The next thing you would do is like commit your changes, which I haven't done yet. Yes. So that's our default. Yep, we're gonna put it in this scope. Sure. Okay. And then environment pull. So that's going to create that env file. There it is, env.local. I don't think anything's in here at the start. They don't give you anything in here. Yeah, they don't give you anything in here. And then the next thing you do though is you go through and you update this with the actual configurations. So I'm going to do that. So I'm actually going to have to go off camera one more time here while we set that up. Let's go here. Yeah, so you have to actually go into Versailles, which is weird. Which means I'm actually going to have to... I'm going to have to... yeah. I'm going to have to block you guys one more time from the browser side this time now. So that you guys can't see my secure credentials on the Versailles side, because eventually that is going to go up to the cloud. So I'm going to go to settings. I'll go environment variables, and then they give you a full list of the ones you need. So I am going to start populating these now. Bear with me. Do this. Okay. If that answer was correct about what was going wrong with the auto load, that actually happened to me before. This is the first time I've run into that issue. When my auto reloader wasn't working on a Windows box. And I swear, I remember I was so, I was in such a hurry with the project I was working on that I had to just deal with it. Like I had to deal with the problem. It was such a bad experience, but I had to just live with it because I was on the deadline. We got 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, and then I think these are. Alright, we can close that. Okay, now let's go back. We should be okay to share these windows again. Ah! I think I shared that pretty. Oh well. Okay. Alright, so now I think we just need to actually run our and that's why they say run npm install, because this assumes the first time you've grabbed this environment, right? This is the first time you clone this. So now when we run npm install, we should get our node modules directory, we get all our bells and whistles, hats flying off, everyone throwing their graduation caps in the sky, etc., etc. Alright, says we are up and running now, so I will go ahead and do that. Failed. See what's... So that did work. That actually did work. But it said it failed here. Let's get rid of these. Let's fix these vulnerabilities. I like to have a clean slate. I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do the, I don't think we need to install again. I'm just gonna run it now. Quest 2 what? Failed. Why is that? Not really giving me a reason for the failure, but at least we're up and running there. That's good. Not sure if it's working, but let's hit the studio. Alright, that's also working, which is fantastic. We got our post. We obviously won't have our tag because we just did that. But now let's see if we edit this, if it will update for us automatically. So we'll go schemas, posts. Let's just do post SSS, save. There we go. There we go. That's what we were expecting to see, guys. All right. We are back in business. Let's talk about what was going wrong, okay? So on Windows, let me just be clear, right? Most developers, when they are working on software in like a terminal, right? In like one of those black windows with the white text, more often than not, they're working on some kind of Linux system, right? Linux-based system. Red Hat or Ubuntu or something like that. Like something that, like the Mac OS terminal, right? Where it's a really common system and most people use it. So Windows, they don't have it out of the box. They don't have that system that I'm referring to, this kind of Linux-based cool system. But that had become such a pain in the butt for developers over time that they had to release something called WSL. Okay, so what is WSL? Let's show you guys what WSL is. Let's say store. It's a subsystem, but it's, yeah, let's... Alright, this is WSL, right? The Windows subsystem for Linux. And what it does is it provides for you a shell that mimics Linux. So it's almost like you're running Linux on top of Windows. It works really well though. I personally really like it because it allows me to do everything. Like I built my computer from scratch, so obviously I don't have a Mac. I have to have either a PC or some janky Ubuntu OS, right? Or Linux OS. And I didn't want to do that, so I just have a Windows machine. But I still wanted all the bells and whistles that I get from, you know, if I'm working on a web server somewhere, if I'm working on Mac, whatever. I'm really used to that workflow. So that's what WSL gives you. Now, WSL also allows you to save your files to your real drive. Like you could imagine WSL being like a virtual drive, whereas the actual drive, like your C drive in Windows, that still exists. Right? So they allow you to access that through this mount directory, this MNT directory. However, when you're mounted through that MNT directory, you can't really listen to ports the way you would if you were going directly through either PowerShell in Windows or through an actual Linux subdirectory, right? Somewhere in the actual subsystem. So that's what we just did. We just placed our new project inside of the subsystem. So since we're going to be using the subsystem, and that's what's going to be listening at port 3000, then now when we make changes to that subsystem, to that file that lives in that subsystem, the listener can actually hear it and make the adjustment, right? And make the update. So that's why now it's working. Anyway, that being said, let's go back. We were in the middle of adding our tag type, and we had done some discussion, but I think we can kind of speed run this now, right? We know what to do. That was just tags, we'll keep this title, not going to use that. And then I think we had a validation rule on this, which was rule, and then it was rule.required. And then I think we said a max of 90 characters. All right, and then we got rid of all of these, I think. Hey, there's another required thing we didn't even. All right, excerpt an image. All right, so they had some stuff in there that we can still, but we still have that file. Like we didn't lose that file. Still in the other directory. Time is it? Oh, 9 o'clock. I still got some time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and save that. Tag doesn't exist yet, so we'll go ahead and add it to our index. So we are going to say, well, no, we can't do that. But what we can do is this one at the same time, and then what we can say here is. And then what I also like to do here is when these arrays are blown out like this, especially when they are the same like every time, like for both arrays, you can see how they're the same exact set of data. I like to only do this once. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but there should be a way for me to declare this array once and use it more than once, but I don't know. For now though, I'm at least going to do it like this, and then I'll copy paste from here to there. So there we go. So all we did was refresh, and now we have a tags instance here, right? We don't have any tags, but if we were to go add one, which is that's this create icon, which I don't like that. I like the plus icon better. I don't like this little new pencil icon. But I could be in the minority there. So. All right, so it's loading document forever, and we could have run into an issue here. So let's go ahead and open up our dev tools. This could be a bug, right? We could have done something wrong here. Oh, no, it was just stalling. Oh, yeah, and plus we would have saw the error here in the console anyway, okay? All right, that was quite the ordeal. Let's go ahead and get our fields back, right? So we had mentioned all the fields we needed here. We need title, which we just did. Need an image. Description, and appearance, which is going to be our reference. All right, and then we'll do some. We'll make sure that the validation on the parent is that it can't be the filter, not the validation, but the filter and the validation actually is that the parent can't be equal to. No, we don't even need that. That can just be in a filter. The filter just has to say that give me all the terms, the tags back, but it can't be equal to the current tag, right? Because this is a tag field, right? So there's that. Okay, so now let's do our image. Let's do define field. Go ahead and put our comma here. I'd love to get that out of the way first. So this is a name. We're gonna just call this image, right? I think that's what we called it. Gonna be lowercase image. We are going to say it's a type of, and I'm gonna say this is a type of object because our image has 3 different fields in it, right? So it's a type of object, and objects have fields, right? So there's going to be a set of fields in here, if I'm not mistaken, but let's just confirm that before we get in too deep here. Do we have any objects in here? Nope. So we're gonna have to go to the docs just to be safe. I don't want to do this and then only to find out that I did it incorrectly. So let me go to the references here, go to the schema, and then I'm gonna open up objects here, and I'm just gonna make sure that once you, yeah, so it just goes object then fields, right? Object and then fields. Okay. And then they could be field sets too. We don't need that right now. We'll just do fields for now. I think field sets are the ones that have the like accordion drop downs. You can like open them and close them. Social media handles. Yeah. See, there's an example there. Actually, let's see what this looks like. I like playing with some of it. Oh, there's the copy button. So this is just the outer shell. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. They already did it. We might as well test it. Here we go. I think it's going to be like an accordion. I think it's going to be the thing that like slides up and down, or like expands and collapses. That is taking god awful long to load. That's another thing we're gonna have to figure out. Like, I think there's gonna be some optimization we need to make here, because this doesn't feel like it's wait, there might be an error. Nah, there's no error. Yeah, and that's a field set. It's just kind of, it insets it. So that might come in handy. We don't need that for what we're doing, but that might come in handy. So anyway, it's just fields, and then fields are going to be each individual field, so they're all going to have a name. And since this is an image, if we go back to our content model, we know we need the image file itself. That's going to be like a URL field. So let's start with that. So this is going to be our image. So let's call this, maybe just call it file. And I think there's a file type. Let me see. Yeah, there is a file type. There's an image type. There is an image type. All right, well, never mind. So do we even? Yeah, we do. So this is going to be photo, and then it's going to be a type of image. And then we're gonna have a field called alt text, and this is gonna be a string. And then we're gonna have a field called caption, I believe was the last one. Yep, and that is gonna be I don't know if it needs to be rich text or not. Maybe, yeah, let's do rich text. So rich text is interesting. The way rich text works in Sanity is you have to use a block, an array of blocks. So I don't know if we need an array though. We can just probably get away with one, right? So we can just say block. And I think that might be it. Let's see what that looks like. I think that might have been it though. Nah, so it's saying it doesn't like something we're doing. No, that's not gonna be it. Caption, type of shit. Let me go back to the docs. Fuck. Yeah, it's type array, okay. Array, and then it's gonna be of, and then that's gonna be an array object of type block. And then now, there we go. Now I can actually put whatever I want in here. And the reason they do that is because they use something called portable text, where each paragraph of text is a new array item. And that allows you to like literally look at each bit of data as raw data. You don't have to look at it as like a single string of HTML, which can be really hard to pass around from place to place. So it's a really cool thing that they've done there. So, all right, so we have our image type, and that doesn't look bad. Let's see what it looks like here. So we have image, we have our photo field, alt text, and caption. Right, so that's one field with 3 fields inside it. That looks good. And then we need our description field, which is going to be another. I usually put commas after everything, guys. That's another thing that you'll see me doing. I think that's best practice, actually. I think commas should go after literally everything, unless it's all on one line. Then maybe it like if it's not an object, then maybe not. I don't know. I always do it when I'm doing object syntax. So I'm pretty sure if we look it up, it'll be that that's the best practice, but I can't be 100% certain about that. So we need a description field. It is a type of array again, right? Because we're doing that block again of, and then that's going to be type of block. Okay. Go ahead and test that. And then we'll do our parent field. Okay, and there's that. And then last but not least, our most interesting field, which is our parent field. Okay, this field's going to take a little bit of time. We're not going to be able to breeze through this, right? This is going to be called our parent. Maybe parent tag? We don't need that, right? We can just do this. Okay, and then our type is going to be a entity reference or some kind of reference. I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's just reference. Yep, just reference. So let's go ahead and open that up while we're at it. Reference, and I think I'm just going to do like 2. I think it's going to be like reference 2. Yeah, reference 2, which is an array syntax, and then a type of the entity type that we want. So it's going to be a reference to a type, which is a tag. Okay, and then now though, we have some things to do. We need to be able to filter, right? We're going to need to be able to filter so that we only get the things that we actually care about. Okay, so let's look at some of their, we're going to go to a additional static filter, right? So this is a filter where they're saying that the role has to equal whatever the role is that they pass here, and here they pass director. So there's their extra parameters, right? And what we want to say is, we want to say that this, whatever the current tag is, well, no, this tag doesn't exist yet, right? It hasn't been saved. So we don't need to do a filter, right? We're pretty confident that so we will need to do a filter on children though. Because if something is already a parent of, so let's say, let's think about this real quick. Let's think about this. So if I have a hierarchy that's sports, and then I have baseball, and then I have little league baseball, or whatever that's called, like a teeny league or something like that. So if I have this, then I don't want sports to be able to be I don't want sports to be able to select Little League Baseball from the drop down, from the parent drop down, right? So what are we really saying? We're really saying that a parent, so if you're in a brand new, like if Little League Baseball didn't even exist, right? Then I would be selecting, yeah, so never mind. You can't do that. There's no way you can do it unless you go back to edit sports, or you go back to edit baseball rather. You want to make sure that Little League Baseball, if you go back to edit sports, baseball and Little League Baseball okay, so basically if I'm in the editing, if I'm not a draft, okay, if this content isn't if this tag is not a draft, and so let's think about that. If this content is not a draft, and if, oh no, not and, right? So just give me, so hang on, I got it, hang on. Sorry. Well, okay, so return all tags that are not drafts, which I think they do that by default anyway, I'm not sure, are not drafts, and does not have me listed as its parent. That's it right there. Does not have me listed as its parent. So if I'm in baseball, or if I'm in sports, for example, right? So Oh, snap though. Hang on. But then how do we get this hierarchy right here? Because this is going to have baseball listed, which is going to... So maybe what we do is we make it so that if you select a reference that has a parent, you get both of those tagged. Right? It'll have to be something like that. Where one item needs to allow you to have... So it doesn't have me listed as its parent. Maybe it's like any older generation. Doesn't have me listed as any older generation. Right, so that would be give me all tags where the ref give me all tags where the snap. That's a tough query. I gotta figure out how to write that one. Alright, yeah, that'll be the next thing we figure out. For now, let's just make sure this works. We don't have any tags in the system, so it doesn't really matter right now, but let's just check it out. I think this is taking so long because there are 1,926. So every time this compiles, that's almost 300 seconds. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's milliseconds though. Never mind. Sorry. That's a long time. This is taking a long time now. Like I keep having to hard refresh it. At least it shows up quickly then. But yeah, so here we go. So this is parent tag. And then let's do a search, right? Let's do something real quick. Let's say advanced hierarchy filter sanity reference field. So how are they making this a parent though? Yeah, see, this is where we are, right? We don't want to break the rules. That query is interesting. I know there's a way to do it. I know there's a way to do it in Grok, where you could go through. I mean, it would kind of be like recursion though, right? You would have to say, well, no, it's not recursion. You'd have to basically say, give me every... Yeah, because you're not choosing sports when you choose Little League Baseball, right? You're choosing baseball. So either you, in the background, automatically tag Little League Baseball with baseball's parent, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if this was one more level, where it's like T-ball, right? So for the little bitty boys, then now you're saying, the moment I select Little League as my parent, I'm gonna go find the parent baseball, and select that for T-ball, and then I'm gonna go find sports and select that too. Doesn't really make sense. I guess an argument can be made that T-ball could potentially have. So if I guess the concern is, what if baseball, someone went and edited baseball and tried to say that its parent was T-ball? Is that, the question is that a problem? It's really not, right? Because all that means that happens is this, right? These two, where this sits in the tree is moot. Yeah, okay, I think I'm overthinking it. Where that sits in the tree really doesn't matter. I don't think we need to do that crazy query at all. I think we're fine. So we're just going to reference this, and we're just going to make sure that if it's not a draft, the parent can't be itself. That's really it. So let's actually do that now, because I did see our current one. So we're going to save our current one. And we're going to say our first category is going to be, so remember, we're a gaming site, right? So our first section is going to be, how about we do MK1? So we'll do PlayStation 5. And maybe we'll do PlayStation 5, fighting games, and MK1, right? So we'll make 3 of them real quick, okay? So we'll say PlayStation 5 is the, and then we'll upload ourselves an image. We'll just steal some stuff from Google. We'll say PlayStation logo. These will be all logos if we can help it. Images. PlayStation 5. That it looks fine to me. I like the black one actually better, so let's do this. Then image a new tab, and then the other one we said was going to be fighting game logo. That's fine. This is fine. This is a pretty well-known title card when a round is going to start in a video game, and then we'll do an MK1 logo. Okay. This looks like the best one to me. Actually, this looks way better. Yeah, okay, so now we're gonna save all of these. Okay. Let's just put them on the desktop now. Let's put them in our, I need to stop putting stuff on the desktop. So here, images, promo, coding, logos. No, this isn't promo though. Let's not get this mixed up. Let's just do images, and let's just call this trend junkie. Start a folder of images. All right, so we got the PS5 logo. I don't think you guys can see what I'm doing in the background, but trust me, I'm saving images. Save image. Okay, and now let's see how robust this system is. Does it let us just upload anything? All right, what about the AVF file? Nope. Can't get Mortal Kombat in here. What about this WebP file? Oh, nice. So, all right, that's not what we wanted, but whoa, I can't get rid of it after I upload it? Oh, that stinks. Oh, that totally stinks. Oh yeah, I can. This thing wasn't, this hover button wasn't there. I knew that couldn't have been possible. I was like, hell no, they'd get creamed for that. You see how it's not there though? There's something going wrong with that. Yeah, I have a front end bug here. It looks like menu ref is being sent through the DOM, which will likely trigger. So wait, am I doing something weird here? I think I'm doing something weird here, guys. React doesn't recognize the reference prop element on the DOM. Custom actually spelled lowercase reference element. There, where? I mean, we haven't done anything. We haven't touched any of it. I think it's referring to the Something about this maybe. Hang on, let me just publish this real quick. See if that still happens. And we'll remove and upload a new image. Oh, that looks like it's still happening. So there's that. Right back there. Oh no, okay, that did it. So I think it's just that we didn't have anything to reference. But we do still have this issue, which I don't like. React does not recognize the menu prop on a DOM element. See where this is complaining. We need React, Chrome, React, inspector, yeah. Oh wait, I already have them. No, cancel. I don't want to remove them. I want to actually expose them. Alright, I'll just I'll add it back. Okay. And then now I think the idea is just that you open the dev tools. I don't think you have to do much. And do I have React on here? That's the component, but yeah, that's not telling me what the error is. Yeah, my guess is this has something to do. There's a saw it too. One of the pages there had a item being returned. Yeah, I don't know, guys. That's a weird one. That error in the dev tools is a little funky to me. I don't know why that's happening. It looks like the other error was related to that cursor error there. This menu not showing up was related to the fact that I had that reference field, but I didn't have referenceable items, and it kept choking there. But this one, I don't know what this is actually referring to. I have to look into it if it starts causing big issues. But I think for now I'm going to ignore it. I don't care. And this is what I need to fix. I need this not to show up. I need to say where the so I need to figure out what we can do with filters, because I need to say, based on this current filter right here, based on this current filter, right? So here's one thing, dynamic filter. So it looks like we do have access to the document in the filter item, which is perfect. So that'll give us the current, yeah, and then we can just return, yeah, so this should be fine, right? So we could say if document.ref dot, no, not even if, right? We can just say role, I mean, not role, but we could say, why are they doing role here? That's weird. We could say, not role, but, what do we call it? The tag. Where tag not equal to, like, once we find this tag from the document object, which I'm pretty sure we can. Actually, let's go ahead and try this. They have two returns here. Interesting. I think this there. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's say on our entity reference, we're going to do a options, and that's an object with a filter, and then that filter is an anonymous function that returns an actual filter, right? So it'd be filter, and then we'll say it had to be like tag not equals $ tag, and then params will be tag. Oh, I don't even need that then. I don't even need that then, right? I should just be able to do that. I should be able to just say filter is tag not equal to tag, and then I should be able to say params is tag is, what do I call it, parent tag? Right? That look right? Wait, did I do that wrong? I think I did. Oh, filter params. Must have closed my UI at some point. So no, it's still showing up. Need to understand.
Beautiful.
I think we need that. I think we need to hit that document, but let's see. Let's see how they're gonna do these. Yeah, see, we need something like this, right? I'm gonna give it a shot, guys. I think it's gonna be something like this for sure. That's gonna be options here. So let's just try it. Alright, so my hunch is that we don't need this, obviously. Well, we might. Let's actually, before we start saying what we don't need and what we do need, blah, 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 let's do this. Let's say, filter is, I really don't care. Can we just do tag equals $sign. I don't know if this is gonna make a difference in that. Alright, and then what I want to do though is this, really. Because I don't understand the document object right now, we need to. That should tell us, see, that's another reason these errors are so annoying, is because they take up so much of the screen. So now if I clicked into this, there's my object, and perhaps it's this. No, it should be in like a ref, something like that. The ID has draft in it, which is what this is, but there is a published version of it. So there's a way to filter out drafts too. Let's do this. Let's go to this Grok cheat sheet. That's what I had a sanity. I'm in Chrome. Okay. All right. Maybe it already knows to do that. Now let's see. Let's first just do the gives me anything Grok query for new and unpublished documents. So let's just do only. This is unpublished all, unpublished new, and then unpublished modified. This is the queries for drafts, but I guess the opposite would be in path drafts, right? Not ID in path drafts, so it'd be not, right? That would have to be it, right? Now, if we go look at that, that field, there should be nothing in that result set now. draft here. Right. Okay, so that's not saved. Now if we go back here, does that show up? Clear that. Oh, it doesn't show up. So we know the drafts aren't showing up, but we can still select ourselves. So we need to find out this ID. So we already know that the ID in, so not ID in path draft, but wait a second. So this must not be a draft. So we need to say, hang on. There's a way to get this ID. Yeah, let's inspect it. So like, if I publish this though, right? So let's do this. What if I just published it, right? Boom, publish now, right? So now if I go inspect, does it, like, is this the same just without the word draft? Hang on. So, I don't know if this is right, but we did just see this excluded drafts, but now I'm wondering if it can be like, I really want to say, give me anything where the ID is not a draft and it's not, I think it's this, y'all. I think it's where it's not that and underscore ID not equal to $ID, and then I think here we pass the params where it's like ID is document dot underscore ID. Let's see if that do it. There it is. There, yeah. Oh, it still showed up. I thought we did it. Oh, so wait, let's do this. What if we just did like const ID is equal to, and then what's the like replace? I think it's like shit, how do you just replace them? But like in that moment, the idea of that reference document, is it, so here's a question, right? So like if we were to come and open this whole thing, this whole experience, right? So hold on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this in a whole new dig, right? And then now, if all we cared about, we just want to see what the idea of this guy is. Is it gonna be in a draft state or is it gonna give me his raw ID? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what we gotta figure out. Give him to me. Oh wait, I got an error here, so that's not gonna work. Happening. I can only have one of these open at a time. Oh my god, I didn't know that. So but the moment I click on it, assumed to be a draft. Yeah, it already becomes a draft the moment you click on it. So let me just discard changes. confirm. Right? Haven't changed anything now. Inspect. There's my ID. Now, the moment I go search here, we good, right? It works now. But then the moment I click out, it becomes a draft now. How is that not getting picked up in this part of the query, though? So maybe I gotta say and ID not equal to. How do you concatenate a string on this jump? Oh, where's my cheat sheet? All right, and not equal to, so let's just do plus ID. Oh, that's that plus ID. So now what we saying is like, hold on, let's break this up. This was more legible. Saying this should have did it. You know what I'm saying? Underscore ID and path drafts dot. I don't know. Maybe this ain't doing what I thought it did. It definitely took out that other draft though, so that works in some way. But maybe this is what's needed for the other side, right? So let's just see if that does what we want. Because what we trying to get is this shouldn't be popping up no more. Like, how is this still popping up? I mean, we know the ID is wrong, but we need to see what some other people did with these filters. Oh yeah, because this got the word draft in it, right? So in this case, the ID that we getting back from the data, I wonder is it like both of them? Like not this. This ain't the one we need. We need the one that's stripping the word here. So like what we need to make sure of is this always don't got, like it never has the word draft on it. So let's just do a JavaScript replace, like JavaScript string replace. It's sad I don't know the syntax for that no more, but it's all good. The string then dot replace. So it's gonna be that dot replace. Yes. Yeah, it's text dot replace. And then we're gonna say drafts dot with nothing. Right? Don't need that on this. And then let's just console out ID. Console dot. Let's see how we did. Uh-oh. Don't look like it like that. Okay, maybe it did, maybe it did. Alright, so that did the trick, right? That got rid of that. So now we should just be able to rely on this, right? Yeah. We should just be able to rely on this now. We don't even care about the, well, we care about the draft things. And so as long as underscore ID in, so as long as the thing that you pulling back ain't a draft, and as long as the current ID is not equal to any other items back from the query, then yeah, then that's exactly what we want. Boom. Yes, we got it. Right on time too, because I'm gonna log on. Let's go. Oh, that was perfect timing, my guy. Alright. Cool. So we know we had to do a little bit of tweaking on that. Grab that ID, replace the drafts with nothing, and say, hey, I don't want no drafts, but I also don't want the same item being able to choose itself, right? You shouldn't be able to say that I'm a parent of myself. Now we got that figured out. Ooh, that was perfect. Let's see, what do we got left? So the next thing we probably want to do is make it so that when we do select something from this list, so let's go ahead and, so we got our PlayStation 5. Let's actually finish fleshing this out. We got our PlayStation 5. I'm gonna call this PS5 for the alt text. And then for the caption, we'll say, this is a PlayStation 5. All of the latest and greatest PlayStation 5 content can be found here, right? I think that should be cool. So let's go ahead and publish this guy. And then let's also make sure that even at publish state, yeah, he's still not showing up. Okay, so now let's repurpose this sum draft here guy for our fighting section, our fighting category. So we'll actually call that fighting games, right? We'll just call it fighting games. All right, we'll call this fighting games. And then we'll upload fight logo. And then we'll say fighting games. The latest games in the fighting check here to stay up to date on the latest entries in the fighting game genre. Alright, description, not gonna add one. So now I should be able to pick PS5 as my parent, which I can, right? And this is what we gotta clean up. This preview looks hideous, right? We should have a PS5 icon right there. We should have our little tagline under the word PlayStation 5. So we gotta add a preview, which we saw was possible, right? We see the previews are possible. We just gotta figure out where to add it. And I think it will go under the reference field. Do we even got fields in here now? So maybe it just randomly go in here somewhere? Oh, no. I got to do it at the tag level. It got to be here. This is what every tag preview going to look like, right? So, all right, so we got that. And then let's add our last one, which is going to be MK1. I need a better MK1 image, though. So MK1 logo. Let's do images. If that don't get, okay, if that would have gotten, I was gonna say if that gets clear, I'll use it. I feel like my internet might be going a little slow right now. All right, let's just go ahead and say that image. What we got? What is it? It's a PNG. That's not bad. That should be available to us. So if we come back here, add a new Mortal Kombat 1. Now the question is, should this be PS5 or, you know what? This gotta have two parents, right? MK1 gotta have two parents. It should be found under PS5 and under fighting games. Boom, that's how you do that. And then when you introduce like a whole game, like right now we said that the fighting games is under PS5, like that's its parent. We gotta remove that. That don't make sense. Neither one of these got parents, but this one should have a parent. This one can be found in multiple sections. So we're going to remove the parent from this fight one, and we're going to add the parent for the Mortal Kombat one. So, MK1. One of the... Once in a generation, A fighting game is released that changes everything. Fortunately, Mortal Kombat was not one of those games. No, I'm just this was one of those games. I really do think it was. This was one of those games. This is probably one of my favorite ever fighting games in the fighting game community. It's just been so much fun. It's been a blast to play. Yeah, I want to be able to add more than one. You see that I can only add one, right? I want to be able to add more than one of those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update this to instead of it being a type of reference, I'm gonna actually make it a type of array. And then what I'm gonna do is under that, it's gonna be an array of, right? So remember, we get a chance to kind of do whatever we want here. It's gonna be an array of type. It's gonna be an array of type. What type? What type? What type? I mean, I think it has to be. Wait. Let's see how they do that. Okay, this is probably really easy to do. I know it's an array though. I know it's an array. If you want to be able to add a bunch. Oh yeah, I had it right. I was so close. I was so close. So it's just going to be an array of, and then, right? So then that is going to be an array of type, and then that's going to be a type of reference, right? But then now this is where it deviates from the other one. Oh no, that don't deviate. That's actually exactly how the other one is structured. I should have been able to get that. And then I don't need that to look. And then do 2. Oh no, yes I do. Yes I do. Because this is like that, right? So then that's going to be type reference 2. And then now I can do all my other stuff, right? With the options and everything. I don't know why I'm typing out crazy. Oh no! Alright. That. And then now I should be able to slap my options right in there. And then now get rid of that stuff because we don't need it. And boom. Now we should be able to do an array of that. Like we should be able to select a bunch of them. With it. I keep seeing stuff on my peripheral, man. Jesus. And yeah, we got to reset that value because we can't do that anymore. So it's going to be add. A reference to a document, what? Yeah, there we go. And then now we need to say if it's not in this field, yeah, we need to be like, you can't use duplicates either. So there's probably a unique thing on here. If they got like something for unique. Oh no, that's gonna be array, right? That's gonna be the array syntax will allow us to do somewhat unique. Yeah, unique. Yep. So now and then under this, I should be able to say validation. No, not the row, not the row. Validation is going to be rule.unique, right? And now I think even if I wanted to, I won't be able to select PS5 again from this list. Right? It's gonna be like can't be the same or something like that. Nope, it let me publish it. Let me see how they do the unique markup. I was just reading out. I totally did it exactly right. Oh, maybe I get it. Maybe I gotta start that over. The editing experience. It actually should blow up. Yeah, this I was gonna say that's gonna blow up. Alright, so let's go ahead and say that, and now let's see what the editing experience will be like. So I go in, go to add the first one. I wish I could filter that list out. Then I go to add the second one. I can still choose the second one though. But it'd be dope as if I can't even choose the second one though. You know what? Since it's an array now, I bet in document I got access to the other things that I selected. Watch. Wait, no, let's not do that. All right. I think I'm gonna have access to it, to the other stuff that I selected. Hang on. Actually, see if that's true. There we go. So we have the ID. Yeah, we got the parent tag, right? The whole parent tag array. And that has two things in it. And they have ref IDs. So first one don't even got a ref yet. Because I ain't select none yet. So we need to say that the next part of this filter, right? So here go the thing, right? So now we gotta say ID actually don't equal that no more, right? ID actually equals. Oh yes it do, yes it do. ID do equals that. So that's the current one in the list of results, right? That's the current one in the list of results. So what we basically saying in this filter is that if you see this ID. I mean, sorry, that's the current one that we're in right now. That's our current term, which we don't care about that right now. We care about parent tag field, right? So we want to say if we want to loop over this actually, and we want to be like if either one of these, if any, no, it's just an in clause at this point. So we need to be able to say in. Yeah, we need to. It's one of those grok queries. Yeah, I've seen it before too. It's an in clause. It's gonna be a filter. It's gonna be like not in something. There you go. It's like that. Like this. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be document.parent tags. Open close. Gonna be, that's what I think it's gonna be. Hold on, let me try that. I think it's gonna be and that, and then the next one is gonna be and underscore ID. No, it's gonna be and not underscore ID in, and then now it's gonna be. It'll be some shit like document. No, it'll be some shit like parent tag IDs, right? Right, because that's gonna be an array of IDs. So now here we be like, shit. What I do? Right. So here we be like. Parent tag IDs is equal to shit. Document. See what this fool is fuck. I know this ain't gonna work. That ain't even nothing you could do in oh well maybe it is. Document dot parent tag dot and underscore ref, was it? Parent tag. Yeah, underscore ref. Or could you just do this, right? You can't do that. Well, that is an array now. Or maybe since that's an array, hold on. Maybe since that's an array now, we can be like this dot underscore ref. Right? That's kind of what that syntax means, right? You give me an array, which is what we're giving them here, and I'm gonna go find this shit right here, right? And then if I find it, then you good. I ain't gonna let that surface. So we already know this is there. Fuck yeah, I'm a beast. I'm a fucking genius, yo. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Let me get off my own stuff, but that was crazy. That was lit. Oh, snaps. Alright, so we got that. I think I'm gonna stick to these underscore stuff. Anytime it's our machine name and not like something served by a framework or something, I'm gonna try and stick with this nomenclature where it's like underscore separated string. And just stick with that. This was dope though. This I ain't gonna lie, Grok is pretty powerful. For them to be able to do what we doing right now, that is lit. So all right, let's clean up this though. We know we want this right here, right? So there's that, and then now we shouldn't see nothing in this drop down, which we don't. Great. Let's go ahead and publish that. Now let's go over to fighting games. Remember, these should have no parent because they grown as adults. No parents on these two. These are both parent categories that we're gonna be shoving other shit into. So boom. So now we got that. That's super dope. That's super dope. What time do we got? 10, 11. I want to do the preview. Preview is really simple, I think, because I know we already got it here. We'll be able to see it here. Yeah, let's end this with the preview. Let's just finish preview real quick. So basically what we want to do is we want to be able to see, oh, they doing they shit a little different. You know what? I'm gonna say preview for tomorrow. We'll do preview. All right, I'm gonna end it there. I am going to end it there. Okay, I had a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff. Look at that. Even the chill music went off exactly when I said I would end it there. That was kind of crazy. Hope this turns out to be some really good VOD content. I had a lot of fun doing it. I definitely outlined it, so it should have been nice, well structured to it. Yeah, I'll be back Friday, same time, same Junkie Station, man. I hope y'all had a good time. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, peace out, my guys.